अच्छा, so the next objective is about electromagnetic spectrum. ठीक है. Now what exactly is the electromagnetic spectrum? हमें पता है that so far we have studied transverse waves, and in transverse waves we studied light wave, but that's not the only transverse wave that we have in our syllabus. The entire electromagnetic spectrum that consists of radio waves, gamma waves, microwaves, visible light, all of these are a part of the electromagnetic spectrum, and we have to study that. So the first point says know the main regions of the electromagnetic spectrum in order of frequency and in order of wavelength. First, let's just write down what the electromagnetic spectrum consists of. Radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, and gamma rays. Now there is a mnemonic to memorize all of these, and the mnemonic is rugby match is very unlike xylophone game. So I'll write that down over here as well. Rugby match is very unlike xylophone game. Now there are more, obviously there are more mnemonics as well, but this is the one that I remember, and I've always remembered it this way. So we have radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light. Then visible light further contains the Webb-Goyer spectrum, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays. Now we have to understand that which of these has the largest wavelength and which of these has the highest frequency. So if we talk about the wavelength, रेडियो वेव्स की सबसे हाईएस्ट वेवलेंथ होती है और गामा रेज की वेवलेंथ सबसे कम होती है. सो लार्जेस्ट वेवलेंथ, ठीक है, एंड एज वी गो डाउन द स्पेक्ट्रम द वेवलेंथ डिक्रीजेज, एंड अबाउट रिगार्डिंग फ्रीक्वेंसी इट्स द अदर वे राउंड. सो गामा रेज हैज़ द लार्जेस्ट फ्रीक्वेंसी, and as we go up the frequency decreases. So radio waves are going to have the least frequency and the largest wavelength. Gamma rays has the least wavelength and the largest frequency. That's the first objective that we had to cover. Okay, then it says know that the speed of electromagnetic waves is okay. Now there are certain features about this electromagnetic waves that we need to know. So about all electromagnetic waves, all of these waves, so their characteristics, ठीक है, we'll be studying their characteristics. These are a few characteristics of electromagnetic waves, of all electromagnetic waves. The first characteristic is that all waves are transverse waves. ये जितनी भी electromagnetic waves है, radio, micro, infra, visible, ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma, all of these are transverse waves. What were transverse waves? Transverse waves वो waves होती हैं जिनका direction of propagation and direction of vibration are perpendicular to each other. उसके बाद the speed in vacuum is 3 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 8 meters per second. You must have heard that this is the speed of light. This is not just the speed of light, this is the speed of all electromagnetic waves in vacuum. And in air also it's pretty much the same. Obviously it's going to be slower in air, but it's pretty much the same. And then in solids and liquids it's even more slower. All of them follow rules of reflection and refraction. When we studied the chapter of light, we did study the rules of reflection and refraction. The rules of reflection were that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection, and the second rule was that the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray all lie on the same plane. Rules of refraction included refractive index is equals to sin I upon sin r, and the second rule was that the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal all lie on the same plane. So these rules apply to all of these waves as well. They do not need a medium to travel, like light does not need a medium to travel. However, sound, which is a longitudinal wave, it does require a medium to travel. Medium क्या होता है? Solid, liquid, gas. If they are saying that it does not need a medium to travel, दैट मीन्स दैट इट कैन ट्रैवल इन वैक्यूम एज वेल. वैक्यूम क्या होता है? वैक्यूम वो जगह होती है जहाँ पे कोई भी मैटर नहीं होता. वी डू नॉट हैव सॉलिड, लिक्विड और गैस. So it does not need a medium to travel, basically means that it can travel through solids, liquids, gases, and through regions where there is no matter at all, like through vacuum as well. They are not deflected by electrical or magnetic fields. They do not get hampered, or they do not get deflected. They do not turn their direction based on any electrical field or magnetic field. These are common properties of electromagnetic spectrum. Achha, the next objective that we have to cover is describe the role of the following components in the stated applications. This is a very reoccurring past paper question where they will ask you to list down the uses of different electromagnetic spectrum. So we'll write that down and then we'll discuss it. So our next objective is describe the role of the following components in the stated application. सबसे पहले we have radio waves. ठीक है, तो रेडियो वेव्स का जो एप्लीकेशन होता है वो कहाँ यूज़ होता है? इट्स यूज्ड फॉर टेलीविज़न ब्रॉडकास्टिंग. जो टेलीविज़न के जो चैनल्स आपके पास आते हैं वो रेडियो वेव्स के थ्रू आते हैं. AM and FM रेडियो, everyone is pretty aware of it, the one that you listen in your car. और पहले FM रेडियोज़ पोर्टेबल भी होते थे. सो उनकी जो कम्युनिकेशन होती है वो होती है थ्रू रेडियो वेव्स. एस्ट्रोनॉमी में काम आती है स्टडी करने के लिए स्टार्स एंड डिफरेंट सेलेस्टियल बॉडीज़ को. एविएशन कम्युनिकेशन, विच मीन्स दैट इट इज़ यूज्ड फॉर प्लेन्स, आपस में प्लेन्स के बीच में कम्युनिकेशन के लिए, एंड प्लेन्स एंड उनके हेडक्वार्टर्स के बीच में कम्युनिकेशन के लिए. मैरी टाइम कम्युनिकेशन मीन्स सबमरीन्स के बीच में कम्युनिकेशन, शिप्स वगैरह के बीच में कम्युनिकेशंस के लिए. देन वी हैव माइक्रोवेव्स. माइक्रोवेव्स का पर्पस होता है सैटेलाइट टेलीविज़न. जो सैटेलाइट टेलीविज़न होता है, जो डिश टीवी जिसे कहते हैं, दैट यूजेस माइक्रोवेव्स. उसके अलावा इंटरनेट एंड GPS भी माइक्रोवेव्स की वजह से चलता है. GPS इज़ जोग्राफिकल पोजिशनिंग सिस्टम. देन वी हैव मोबाइल फ़ोन्स. मोबाइल फ़ोन्स भी कनेक्ट होते हैं बाय द हेल्प ऑफ माइक्रोवेव्स. Bluetooth also uses microwaves, and microwave ovens, which is the most common application of microwaves for cooking and heating of food. Okay, then we have infrared radiation. Infrared radiation remote controllers में यूज़ होती है, जिससे हम जब हम रिमोट कंट्रोलर को टीवी के साथ कनेक्ट करते हैं तो वो इंफ्रारेड के थ्रू कनेक्ट होता है. इंट्रूडर अलार्म्स आर बेसिकली अलार्म्स विच यू सेट अप इन योर हाउस, so that if there is a thief entering into your house, or if there is an intruder, you will be alarmed about it. Thermal imaging, night vision के लिए होता है. Thermal imaging, basically night vision goggles is just an example of where thermal imaging is used. Thermal imaging is also used in surveillance cameras that are used at the night. तो दिन के टाइम पे तो सर्वेलेंस कैमराज में सब कुछ नज़र आ जाता है बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली देयर इज़ लाइट. लेकिन रात के टाइम पे जब अंधेरा होता है तब भी सर्वेलेंस कैमराज वर्क करते हैं बाय यूजिंग इंफ्रारेड रेडिएशन. एंड देन वी हैव ऑप्टिकल फाइबर्स. ऑप्टिकल फाइबर्स यूज इंफ्रारेड रेडिएशन and they basically are used for setting up your internet connections, for phone cables, etc. Then we have visible light. Visible light is the light that you use. अब इसके क्या क्या applications होते हैं? Obviously photography, you cannot take a picture of something in the dark. You need light to capture a picture. So photography के लिए vision is basically human vision. जो आप देखते हो, जो colors आप observe करते हो, black and white colors जो भी है, for that requires visible light. उसके अलावा optical communication fiber, optical fibers में भी light का use होता है जैसे infrared radiation का use होता है. अच्छा, then we have ultraviolet radiation. Ultraviolet radiation basically is used for sterilization. Now the sterilization or you can use ultraviolet radiation for disinfecting air, water, any kind of surfaces. Tanning beds, basically it's not very popular over here in Asian countries, but in countries where people are very fair, the complexion is fair, in those regions tanning beds are used for getting an artificial tan on their skin. Then there are UV lamps. UV lamps are used for counterfeit detection, like for instance for identifying fake notes, fake currency. It's also used in forensic and scientific experiments. Then we have security marking. जो security, whenever you're entering a mall or a secured location, and they use a certain probe that uses ultraviolet radiation, and again detecting counterfeit bank notes, which is a part of UV lamp only. Then we have X-rays. X-rays का सबसे common जो purpose होता है, everyone is aware of it. It is for medical imaging. Whenever you, like, if you suspect that you have fractured a bone in that situation. So the most common application is medical imaging, like for instance when a person has fractured their bone or there's a crack in the bone. So in order to identify that, x-rays are used. Besides that, CT scans also use x-rays. That is used to visualize the body's interior structures. Dental imaging, like dental clinics, also use x-rays. Besides that, it's used for security scanners. जैसे एयरपोर्ट के जो सिक्योरिटी स्कैनर्स जहाँ लगे हुए होते हैं, जहाँ पे द लगेज इज़ इंस्पेक्टेड, for that purpose also x-rays are used. Killing cancerous cells, those people who are already like suffering from cancer or have tumor growths in them, for that to destroy those also x-rays can be used. Detecting cracks in metals, अब हमारे पास रोड्स के नीचे बहुत लंबी लंबी पाइप्स लगी होती हैं, ठीक है, उनमें कहीं पे लीक होता है. अब हमें नहीं पता कि लीक कहाँ पर है, वी डोंट नो वेदर लीक इज़, वी जस्ट नो दैट द पाइप अंडर द रोड हैज़ बिन डैमेज समहाउ. So in order to identify where exactly the crack is, x-rays are used. सही है, so that बहुत ज़्यादा precious resources use ना हो, waste ना हो पूरा रोड खोदने में, तो सिर्फ उसी जगह को dig up किया जाता है जहाँ पे हमें पता होता है कि प्रॉब्लम है. अच्छा, then we have gamma rays. Gamma rays are used in medical treatment and in detecting and killing cancerous cells. तो ट्यूमर को डिटेक्ट करने में और ट्यूमर्स को किल करने में या कैंसरस ग्रोथ को किल करने में काम आते हैं गामा रेज. Besides that, sterilization of food and medical equipment is also done by gamma rays. Now, we have seen that there are a lot of uses of electromagnetic radiation, but again there are a lot of damages that are caused by electromagnetic radiation as well. आपने सुना होगा that it is not suggested to stay close to your laptops or to your phones for very long periods of time. That is because these electromagnetic rays that are radiated from your electronic devices can actually cause damage to soft tissues and can cause burns. Besides that, they can cause skin cancers, not only skin cancers but general cancers as well. They can cause mutations, cataracts. Cataracts are like when the lens of your eye gets damaged. So there are a lot of disadvantages of excessively using electromagnetic radiation as well. Electromagnetic radiation, like we saw, has been used a lot for x-rays and gamma rays. Like basically they're used for killing cancerous cells. See over here also it says that it's used for killing cancerous cells. Over here also it says that it is used for killing cancerous cells. But where they can kill cancer cells, they can also be a cause for generating cancers in the human body. So we need to like obviously optimize the amount that we are coming in contact with in by all of these electromagnetic rays. Okay, these were the objectives that have been completed. Know the main regions of electromagnetic spectrum, know that the speed of electromagnetic, so characteristics, the roles of electromagnetic rays, and the damages caused by electromagnetic rays. We've completed this. The next chapter is going to be sound, that we will do in the next class.